to the most spectacular show on earth.
Stress and Elephant Transportation, brought to you by Kayla Little and Jamie Porter. Elephants are one of the world's favorite exotic animals to see in the zoo and other facilities around the world. Circuses are another big place that has been known to house these giants. But how are the elephants coping with the stress of being in a show and a circus and having to travel around the world? In this video, we are going to review what happens to an elephant's physiology during stressful events such as transportation.
Walk. Watch me. Back off. Up. Up. Forward. Forward. Move. Up. Up. Move.
As you can imagine, living in a poor managed facility can cause an animal like that to be under a lot of stress. But what do we mean exactly when we say an animal is under stress, and what is the physiology behind it?
Hormones such as cortisol and cortisone are released from the middle layer of the adrenal cortex. They affect glucose levels in the blood, they are anti-inflammatory, and they mediate many aspects of the stress response. Regions of the brain express receptors for the glucocorticoids, such as the hippocampus, amygdala, and prefrontal cortex. And when high levels of glucocorticoids are released chronically, this will increase the levels of nerve cell death in these areas and decrease the rate at which new nerve cells are generated. Altered levels of glucocorticoids then can lead to mood and behavioral changes and have been linked to depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and the feeling of burnout.
One of the major things that is happening in an elephant's body during stress, like observed in the video before, is a high amount of glucocorticoids being released into the body. Glucocorticoids are a class of steroid hormones that bind to the glucocorticoid receptor, which is present in almost every vertebrate animal cell. The name glucocorticoid derives from its role in the regulation of metabolism of glucose, its synthesis of the adrenal cortex, and its steroidal structure. Glucocorticoids are part of the feedback mechanism in the immune system that turns immunity activity down. When an elephant's body senses that it's experiencing high stress, it releases a large amount of glucocorticoids into the bloodstream. This is one of the many reasons a stressed elephant can experience extreme sickness during stress. If the abuse and stress becomes chronic, the immune system will eventually shut down. A good way to spot a stressed animal is by stereotypical behaviors. These are behaviors that have no obvious goal. An example is seen in these videos of the elephant swaying back and forth. These behaviors are due to poor management and the elephant's inability to control its environment. As we watch the following videos, pay attention to the stressed elephants as they try to deal with their environment by expressing stereotypical behaviors. As you may have noticed, the elephants in these videos were either contained by pins or chains connected to their feet. More circuses are beginning to switch to pin containment instead of chained. A study done on 4 European circuses showed 19 of 29 elephants displayed stereotypical behaviors while chained. These stereotypical behaviors were seen to be reduced by 57% when switched to pin containment instead of chained. When switching to pin containment, normal behaviors such as foraging and eating is increased by 25%, allowing the elephants to express their natural behaviors will decrease their amount of stress. Transportation is one of the most stressful events in an elephant's life. When elephants are transported from each circus location, an increase in fecal glucocorticoid metabolites and ATCH are seen. Loud noises and human interaction are associated with transport and increased stress levels. As an elephant acclimates to its transportation, these stress levels begin to slowly decrease. Let's watch the following video of a circus elephant being unloaded from a train and see if you can spot any stress signs. that we know how an elephant gets stressed and the physiology behind it, how do we stop it? There are many things you can do to help decrease the elephant's stress levels during transport. It is recommended to decrease transportation time as much as possible, provide 3 months or more for acclimation to new surroundings, allow elephants to interact with each other after transport, and finally, understand elephant stress and when to recognize it.